The star of the television show 19 Kids and Counting is currently serving his third Thanksgiving in prison, due to the fact that Josh Duggar, the oldest son of the Duggar family, was found guilty of child pornography charges in the year 2021. The reality star is still serving his third Thanksgiving in federal prison this year, but that does not mean that he will not be able to have a turkey dinner again, according to a new story. Taking into consideration that he is scheduled to remain incarcerated until at least 2032, he will have to make do with this new Thanksgiving custom that takes place away from home for many years to come. His third Thanksgiving is being celebrated at the Federal Correctional Institution Seagoville in Dallas, Texas. Josh Duggar is now serving his sentence. According to In Touch Weekly, the supposed dinner menu has been disclosed, and it included a roasted turkey, glazed ham, and vegetable lasagna as an option for vegetarians. Cornbread dressing, sweet potato casserole, green bean casserole, cranberry sauce, and dinner rolls are the ingredients that make up the assortment of sides. In addition, Duggar will have the opportunity to partake in a variety of pies alongside his fellow prisoners. Previously, it was claimed that the Texas prison also offers a Christmas lunch and recreational opportunities for its inmates. It certainly sounds good, and it seems as though Duggar's third Thanksgiving in prison will be similar to some of the things that we usually have on Thanksgiving in the United States. On the other hand, Duggar has been facing some serious charges for child pornography, and it is highly likely that he would prefer to take part in the enormous parties that his family often has. A police complaint from 2006 that contained claims of sexual molestation against Josh Duggar was made public during the 10th season of the reality television show 19 Kids and Counting. This was the first time that Duggar had a run-in with the law. Not only did it result in the cancellation of the TLC series, but it also caused the network to drop reruns and a significant number of advertisers to pull from television. The allegations stated that Josh had fondled 5 girls, including 4 of his own sisters, while they were both asleep and awake when he was between the ages of 14 and 15. The reality personality, Josh, was found guilty of possessing child pornography in 2021, according to the charges against him. After that, he was given a sentence of 12 years and 7 months, and it is not possible for him to be released until at least the year 2032. In the 20 years that will follow his release from jail, he will be subject to supervised release, during which he will be required to be registered as a sexual offender and will not be permitted to have unsupervised contact with minors, including his own children and family members. In addition to being the oldest child in the renowned family depicted in the TLC series, Duggar is also the father of 7 children with his wife, Anna Renee Keller. Due to the fact that all of their children are under the age of 18, with the oldest child being allegedly 15 years old, Josh Duggar is apparently only permitted to visit with them under supervision. In September of 2023, Josh Duggar made a request for a new trial, which he had originally anticipated would be granted. However, his plea was denied. In the aftermath of that, Duggar submitted a petition to the Supreme Court of the United States in an attempt to appeal his case. However, the Supreme Court had already rejected the petition in June of this year. The Duggar family has long been in the public eye, initially due to their reality television show 19 Kids and Counting and their strict, conservative values. However, the family's fame took a dark turn in 2021 when Josh Duggar, one of the older children, was arrested and later convicted on charges related to child pornography. As Thanksgiving 2024 approaches, Josh Duggar will spend the holiday behind bars, marking yet another chapter in a deeply troubling story that continues to unfold. In this article, we will explore how Josh Duggar will be spending the Thanksgiving holiday while incarcerated, considering his prison environment, what he might experience in the days leading up to and during Thanksgiving, the family's response, and the broader implications of his conviction for the Duggar family. We will also discuss how the event fits into the context of his sentence, his behavior, and what the future may hold for him. The background of Josh Duggar's conviction. Josh Duggar's legal troubles began to surface publicly in 2021 when he was arrested on suspicion of receiving and possessing child sexual abuse material, CSAM. The arrest followed a months-long investigation into the activities of Duggar, who had previously been embroiled in scandals involving sexual misconduct allegations dating back to his teenage years. These allegations, which he initially admitted to, had been swept under the rug by his family, despite the severity of the accusations. In 2021, the charges against Josh Duggar led to his trial, and in December of that year he was convicted on 2 counts of possessing and receiving CSAM. Duggar was sentenced to 12.5 years in federal prison, a sentence that sent shockwaves through both the Duggar family and the larger conservative Christian community. His conviction was a major turning point in the public's perception of the Duggar family, who had built their public persona around their religious values and family-oriented lifestyle. As Thanksgiving 2024 approaches, Josh will have already spent several years behind bars, having entered prison in early 2022. This holiday will mark his 3rd Thanksgiving spent incarcerated, and it offers a unique opportunity to reflect on what his life behind bars looks like, particularly in contrast to the warm, family-oriented holidays he once enjoyed. Life behind bars. Josh Duggar's prison environment. Josh Duggar is currently serving his sentence at the Federal Correctional Institution, FCI, in Seagoville, Texas. The facility is a medium-security prison that houses male offenders convicted of federal crimes. Prisoners at FCI Seagoville are typically involved in a range of work programs, educational opportunities, and in some cases, rehabilitation efforts. However, the reality of life in prison can be far from the idyllic picture that many people outside the system might imagine. Prison holidays are markedly different from those spent with family and friends in a comfortable home setting. For Josh Duggar, this Thanksgiving will be spent away from the people he once shared his life with. Instead, he will be in a stark, sterile environment, likely in a crowded cell with a set routine dictated by the prison schedule. Holidays in prison are known to be particularly difficult, as they often serve as a painful reminder of the life that prisoners have lost. While some prisons provide special meals or allowances during the holiday season, including traditional foods like turkey and pumpkin pie, it is unlikely that Duggar will have much comfort or privacy. For someone like Duggar, who had previously been accustomed to large family gatherings and public attention, this experience will undoubtedly be jarring. Prison meals are far from gourmet, and while the holidays might bring slightly better fare, they also bring a reminder of the crimes that led him to this place. Duggar's days in prison are likely structured with work assignments, educational classes, or religious activities, which many inmates engage in as a way to pass the time or demonstrate rehabilitation efforts. Given Duggar's past as a devout member of the Christian faith, he may take part in Bible studies or church services within the prison system, though his relationship with his faith has been deeply questioned in recent years due to his criminal activities. The isolation of incarceration. No family celebrations. One of the most painful aspects of spending the Thanksgiving holiday in prison is the isolation. For a person like Josh Duggar, whose life was centered around the Duggar family and public appearances, the absence of family connections during such an important time will be especially stark. Duggar had always been known for his large, tightly knit family, and Thanksgiving was a time for them to come together, give thanks, and reflect on their blessings. However, Thanksgiving 2024 will look very different for Josh. His family, including his wife Anna Duggar, their children, and his siblings, are likely to spend the holiday without him. While there may be private communication between Josh and his family members, such as phone calls or letters, these interactions will not provide the same warmth and togetherness that a family gathering would offer. The Duggar family has remained publicly supportive of Josh throughout his legal troubles. His wife, Anna, has consistently stood by him even after his conviction and sentencing. However, it is unlikely that Anna and their children will spend Thanksgiving visiting him in prison. Visitation policies vary by facility, and the emotional toll of seeing Josh in prison, particularly during such a charged time of year, may be too difficult for them to bear. Moreover, given the nature of Duggar's crimes, the family may choose to prioritize the safety and well-being of their children over the emotional aspect of family visits. While Josh Duggar may receive cards or letters from his family during the holiday, these will serve as a stark reminder of what he has lost. The Duggar family's public image has been irrevocably damaged by Josh's criminal conviction, and their holiday gatherings may be tinged with sadness or guilt, knowing that Josh will not be there to celebrate with them. The psychological impact of spending the holidays in prison. Holidays in prison are often described as a time of emotional turbulence, and for someone like Josh Duggar, who has been at the center of a very public scandal, the psychological impact of spending Thanksgiving behind bars will likely be profound. The feeling of isolation, combined with the weight of his crimes, could create significant mental and emotional strain. In many cases, inmates experience heightened feelings of depression, loneliness, and regret during holidays. For Josh, the holiday season may bring up memories of his past life and the contrast between the family he once had and the life he now leads behind bars. The Duggar family's strict religious beliefs may also heighten the sense of shame and guilt he feels, particularly if he is participating in religious activities within the prison system. Josh Duggar's mental and emotional well-being could be affected by the realization that his actions have caused irreparable harm to children and have destroyed his family's reputation. The psychological toll of these realizations, especially on a holiday like Thanksgiving, when themes of gratitude and family are typically celebrated, may exacerbate any feelings of remorse or guilt that Josh may be grappling with. Additionally, Duggar's experience in prison is likely compounded by the knowledge that his future is uncertain. He has a long sentence ahead of him, and the possibility of parole or early release seems unlikely at this stage. This sense of uncertainty, coupled with the lack of support from his immediate family and the broader public, will weigh heavily on his mind during the Thanksgiving holiday. The Duggar family's response to Josh Duggar's incarceration. While Josh Duggar is in prison for his crimes, his family's response has been a complex mix of support, silence, and public statements. Anna Duggar, his wife, has stood by him through the scandal and his trial. Despite the conviction and overwhelming evidence against him, Anna has remained committed to her husband, and she has continued to raise their children in a public setting, despite the damage done to their family name. The Duggar family as a whole has remained relatively silent on the details of Josh's conviction in the years following his sentencing. While some members of the family, such as his sisters, have made statements condemning his actions, they have largely kept their personal opinions about the case private. Thanksgiving 2024 will likely see the family engage in their usual holiday traditions, but the shadow of Josh's imprisonment will hang over them. The public is left wondering how much of the Duggar family's narrative will continue to be tied to Josh's actions. With the holidays approaching, many will be keen to see if the Duggar family will address his absence in public, or if they will continue to maintain the facade of a perfect Christian family. The family's approach to the holiday season will reveal much about how they cope with the lasting effects of Josh's criminal behavior. Looking ahead, what the future holds for Josh Duggar. As Josh Duggar spends another Thanksgiving behind bars, questions about his future loom large. While his prison sentence is set at 12.5 years, it's unclear what his life will look like after his release. His time in prison will likely be marked by a combination of rehabilitation efforts, legal challenges, and further isolation from his family. Duggar may try to rebuild his life upon his release, but the damage done to his reputation and relationships will make it extremely difficult for him to regain any semblance of the life he once had. For now, Thanksgiving 2024 will be another day spent in the confines of a federal prison, a far cry from the large, festive